Hey guys, I am looking at the GLE 8 book. We are going to talk about lesson 5, which is articles. I am turned to the second passage already because that's what your extended response question is going to be on, and I just want to talk about answering that. The rest of it I would like to see you guys do on your own. There are a lot of terms that are defined that I think you can just read through and use that knowledge as you move forward. I do want to draw your attention to the reading guide. This is on the side of each page of this article. It's going to ask you questions about underlining things, noticing things in the text that are going to help you with the questions that pertain to the article. Okay, so I'm going to turn to this extended response question, which asks you to identify the main idea of rings of mystery, then explain how the author develops this idea in the article. Remember to use textual evidence to support your ideas. Main idea is going to be related closely to the idea of a thesis. So the thesis statements that you guys have in your informative essays are the main idea of your essay, right? They give you a direction for what your essay is going to be about, and they limit that scope so that it only addresses those things. Okay, so I'm going to turn back to this article and read the introduction to you so we can look at the end of it and see if there's any sort of thesis to help us find that main idea. For 4 centuries, astronomers have pondered the mystery of Saturn's rings. When Galileo first saw Saturn in 1610, he thought it was a triple-bodied planet. Later, he drew the 2 small clusters he saw as ears or handles protruding from the planet. Then, in 1612, Saturn seemed to vanish. No further sightings were made until 1659, when Christian Huygens developed a more powerful telescope. At that time, Huygens proposed that Galileo's clusters were a ring around the planet. In 1675, Jean-Dominique Cassini discovered what Huygens' single ring was actually 2 rings with a space between them. The mystery surrounding Saturn was growing. Okay, so we have the word mystery pop up twice. We have it here and we have it in the title. It also is in the topic sentence of this introduction, that for 4 centuries astronomers have pondered the mystery of Saturn's rings. The introduction then goes to give you a brief history of those early ponderings and the things that astronomers were discovering. And then it ends with the mystery surrounding Saturn was growing. This sentence, although very simple, tells you that you're probably going to be reading how this mystery continued to grow. You see how it started, you're going to watch it grow, right? So this main idea that you state to start your essay should probably be around this idea that they've ended their introduction with and they've begun it with, right? That there's this mystery about these rings. There's things that we need to figure out, things that we've questioned, just like pretty much anything in outer space. So the headings. The name of the game in this article lesson is really paying attention to your headings. You have where did the rings come from, what is the makeup of the rings, how many rings are there, and how are we learning more about Saturn. Including these headings makes it a little bit simpler for you to find the information about Saturn and about Saturn's rings, okay? So I want you to use that to your advantage, as well as you can see, there's more reading guide questions. So if we turn back to the extended response question, we've reread the introduction paragraph and determined that there is a sentence or a couple sentences that can kind of give us a thesis or a main idea. Does the article follow it? So I'm not going to read the whole article, but if you believe that the article really is about figuring out the mystery behind these rings, then it's fair to say that your main idea is going to reflect that. Then number 2, as I said, use the headings to your advantage. I want you to write a paragraph about how each section under the heading helps the author develop the main idea in the article, okay? because that's what you're asked to do. Identify the main idea and then explain how the author develops the idea in the article. remember to use textual evidence. Organizing it by heading is going to make it easier for you to include that textual evidence. And again, this is so similar to what you're doing in your essays. So your introduction paragraph, I want you to state what that main idea is. In your body paragraphs, organized by section, use the evidence to explain how the main idea is supported. So these headings are already there for you, so I want you to use them. In your first paragraph, look through the section, where did the rings come from? And share that evidence that you believe supports your main idea. Do the same thing for the last 4, and then sum up each supporting idea in your conclusion. Okay? If you go through these steps and include textual evidence, you're going to do a great job on this extended response. Use the hints that I'm giving you to help you with your extended response to answer all the multiple choice and short answers as well. It never hurts to pay attention to headings, to reading guide questions, and definitely to all the words that are underlined, because that is just the workbook helping you out with what those important ideas are.